Hayo, looking for that Chicken Mayo. What's up? Today we're gonna be talking about Warframe power scaling. I know that's a topic, right? So the reason why I want to talk about this today is because really there's two camps when you go online looking for this, right? And it's gonna fall into one of these two. The first camp I actually quite like. It's a very fun realm where people compare Warframe to things such as Warhammer 40k, and you will see often the outcome is something like the Warframe will do really good, will kill a lot of star troopers or whatever, and then eventually you'll get to the end and it will be like, okay, yeah, but the Warframe universe can't really fight the entirety of the Warhammer universe because they just scale much higher. There's billions and trillions of them versus Warframe. There's a lot smaller camps. But then you get the other side of the Warframe power scaling community, and this is a bit more interesting. Here's where you get people who will genuinely compare a Warframe to something like Goku or Superman or something that can easily destroy a solar system, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, no, Excalibur or Nova, the antimatter one, she could definitely beat Goku in a fight. And I feel like there needs to be some humility pumped into the Warframe verse, because there's not enough people talking about how that's just never gonna happen. There's no reason to believe that could happen. And I want to debunk some of the big things people throw out there. But before that, let me just explain why I'm making this video. And it's because I plan on making more Warframe power scaling videos. One that I'm very curious in is Naruto versus Warframe. I feel like that's more appropriate. I don't feel like Warframes are going to be able to, just one-shot Madara, but yeah, that's more their scale. But I want to talk about that strong field where people just think Warframes could destroy planets. A lot of the reasoning is kind of odd, and it's there's a scaling where Atlas destroys a meteorite, and I feel like people just say, oh yeah, he just destroyed a meteorite, and he could just do that. He can just destroy meteorites. And it's no, he can't. And even in that scaling, he needed a lot of help from people who were in the meteorite, who were drumming against it and damaging it from the inside, and then Atlas could destroy it. So people look at that and they hype up every feat that a Warframe has and act as if they're just DBZ level. And I feel like I need to tell those people, no, they can't, because Atlas didn't destroy a meteorite in one punch. He can't do that. And there is one caveat I need to throw here. A lot of people are since Orion and Sirius got released, Orion has this ability, right, that he can just throw out a black hole, and people don't know what black holes are and think, okay, well look, he can throw out a black hole, that means he can destroy a planet. And I just need to say, no, he can't, because obviously he can't. If he could, the Corpus would be fucked. They just fly around in big ships. So do the Grineer. That's all they do. And if you want to fight them in Warframe, you need your Railjack, because the Railjack is stronger than every Warframe. This is well known in Warframe lore, but for some reason people think, Atlas can destroy a meteorite, Nova could easily destroy a planet, And if that were true, the Corpus would never be a threat. They would be wiped out in a day. No less the Sentients, who were at war with Warframes. And I need to just bring up the fact again, the Sentients had no issue with destroying planets. They would have done it if they could. And the fact that there are no destroyed planets in the entirety of the solar system is a clear indication that no Warframe can do that. So I just wanted to put that out there. There is something about Orion though, since he can throw out a black hole. I'm just gonna say this, in my headcanon, that's not a real black hole. Because if it were, he could destroy stars easily. Because black holes are way more powerful. Doesn't matter the size. If the size of a basketball, it could suck up a star pretty easily. So just, it feels like one of those things where the writer doesn't know the science of what they're writing. Like, the best example I would think of this is in Dragon Ball Z, right? When Goku goes Ultra Instinct for the first time, there's a scene where he's said to shake all of infinity. And it's like one of those things where it just feels like the author doesn't know what infinity means. Because if he did, then that wouldn't be there. Because it's not like really a power feat, it's just a nonsensical statement. So I feel like it's the same thing in Warframe. When Orion can make a black hole, it's like, if that's really a black hole, no one's gonna survive it. He's then the strongest character in Warframe. You know, like, that's why I feel like when it comes to this sort of power scaling thing, there just needs to be some humility, and there just really, I need like those people who think that Warframes can destroy planets and shit to like really see what Warframes can do. If you look at the lore, not even close. You know, that's why I want to compare them to things like Naruto. Things like Warhammer 40k is really good because, you know, fleets of space marines are going to get their ass kicked by most Warframes. But if I have 10 billion of them, you know, I feel like the star system doesn't really stand a chance. You know, Warhammer, they can easily destroy planets, and they do it all the time with giant ships and giant guns that can destroy planets. As for Warframe, we never really see this. We've seen some scaling to like planetary level, but it's never done by a Warframe. We see that the Deimos got destroyed, sure, but that was with a giant bomb, and it's still there. And then the only other feat we see at this like level is in the new war quest. There's when that giant sentient ship was going to eat the sun, and like, sure, those are really powerful scaling feats, but Frieza from the Namek arc could destroy all of that shit with ease. Like, it wouldn't even be difficult for him. That's why I feel like the Warframe scaling needs to dumb down when it comes to those, because it just can't compare. There's no... It makes it kind of boring when you're like, yeah... There's like some other things people use to show that Warframes are this level. Like there's when Excalibur in the cinematic blocks... I forgot what that... the Grenier General, he uses that key, the Yanis key, to use a light beam, and Excalibur blocks it in the intro, and that's like trying to show, oh look, every Warframe is at light speed level. And no, it's more probably accurate that Excalibur reacted to that dude pointing the key at him, and then he blocked the light beam, which makes a lot more sense. People like to point out that they have laser weapons in Warframe. Those aren't laser like lights going out, those are plasma. That's plasma like in Star Wars, you know. Doesn't mean every Warframe is at light speed. Now, Warframes are very strong, and it's very interesting to look at like how you could scale them. You know, Warframes can react to bullets instantaneously, blocking them casually without even trying. And that's very powerful. They're very fast. You see in the cinematic how Volt can essentially move so fast that everything is slowing down around him, but he's no match for the Flash. The Flash would dominate him. Obviously, the Flash can move at far faster than the speed of light, and can move so fast that it can outrun death, which is insane. And no one from the Warframe universe has ever shown anything near that level. The only person who's even close, who would probably outscale something like that, is the Indifference. And we don't know much about him. So I just wanted to put this out there so everyone can like know my stance on this, because I'm gonna make more videos on Warframe power scaling. Like I said, I really want to go into Warframe versus Naruto. I think that will be pretty interesting, you know, what Warframes, and also Warframe versus the MCU. That's also very interesting. I think Thor would do pretty well. But other than that, I think like Rhino with a strong build is gonna fight the Hulk, especially MCU Hulk, like, you know, from the movies. It's gonna dominate. But yeah, that's all. That's what I wanted to put out there. Hope you all enjoyed that video, and keep looking for that mayo, that chicken mayo.